Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm 8Flame and welcome to Flame Reacts. Today I got a long video that I'm going to be doing in two parts. Today I'm going to be reacting to and listening to Ashes in Her Wake, the audio drama Grimdark / Tragedy / Infection AU fanfic reading by Obabscribbler. It's going to be a movie lengthy production and it's going to be 2 hours long. So I'm basically going to be doing this in parts, but I am going to be reacting to it and see how this is. I know that she recently did some type of interactive and Infection AU based on MLP, and I actually enjoyed it and I believe Lost Narrator did it too. I'm not entirely sure, but this one is basically not an analog horror. That's for sure. So I'm gonna be reacting to this. If you want to check it out, the link is gonna be in the description below. And beware, I don't know what I'm gonna be getting into, but considering a bunch of Infection AUs I've seen, this is probably gonna be grim. So let me pull up the screen right now and let's see how this is going to be. So let's do this in 3, 2, 1, and let's go.
Warning. The following video contains scenes of graphic violence. Viewer discretion is advised.
We're past October. I guess this was meant to be posted on in October, I guess. I wonder what kind of infection we're going to be getting into. Are we going to be dealing with like bodily fluid infection or magic infection? I wouldn't mind seeing ethereal infection because the one by that animator following the cause was interesting. I like the theme to this. I know she recently posted a sneak peek of it before the official release, but I didn't bother watching it because I didn't want to be spoiled. Really?
Please don't argue.
Twilight Sparkle's voice shook like the glass in the castle library windows.
You have to leave right now. You aren't safe here anymore. But Apple Bloom, go! Take the escape tunnels. Don't stop until you see the river. The last report Starlight and Sunburst sent in theorized its drugs with running water. Something to do with the saline content and the purifying effects of salt, she thinks. Thought.
Twilight's breathing hitched, but she pushed on.
Wait, let me replay that.
Thought. Saline content Starlight and Sunburst sent in the escape tunnels. Don't stop until you see the river. The last report Starlight and Sunburst sent in theorized it struggles with running water. Something to do with the saline content and the purifying effects of salt, she thinks.
Thought that was a bit of a reference to The Last of Us infection.
But she pushed on.
I don't know if that's true, but it's the best chance you have. Get to the river and use it to get out of Equestria.
But I can't just leave you!
You have to.
Twilight pushed Applebloom toward the hole in the brickwork.
I'll buy you time.
But
I can take care of myself. I'm an alicorn after all.
The filly looked up at her with wide, scared eyes. It was still sinking in that her sister was gone, but there wasn't time to let her process or grieve.
But I can help if I stay!
No!
Applebloom cringed. Twilight bit back tears and took a steadying breath. She would not get the filly to leave with harsh words. This required a lighter touch. She tried to channel her friends and what they would do in this situation, since she had screwed it all up by thinking like herself. Twilight had thought the survivors she had rescued could batten down here to wait things out. The Castle of Friendship had so many magical wards that it was supposed to be impenetrable. There was food enough in the stores for 100 ponies, plus they had Princess Twilight freaking Sparkle to protect them. It had been a perfect plan, she had thought. Instead, she had gotten everyone trapped in one place like fish in a barrel. She could not let this be the end for every single pony that she had tried to save. Twilight forced her voice into a gentle croon.
You have to be smarter than me, Applebloom. You're one of the most intelligent young ponies I've ever had the pleasure of teaching. You know that by staying, you won't be able to help. My lab is already full of roots that came up from underground, so there are barely any potion ingredients left for you to use, and you can't buck this problem away. You have to use your intelligence and survive. Please.
Her heart clenched at the memory of her fallen friend.
I promised Applejack I'd keep you safe.
Outside the crumbling castle walls, the sky blazed a scorched amber. Great black clouds rolled across Equestria, unnaturally fast, choking at the daylight. Twilight could feel her connection with the sun and moon wilting as her strength dwindled. What would happen when she was gone? If Celestia and Luna were still alive, they surely would have come to rescue her by now. She had sent the emergency scroll days ago, after she and Spike left Canterlot to come to Ponyville and saw the extent of the crisis. If they had not cut a path to the Castle of Friendship to come and rescue her and the meager survivors of Ponyville, there was only one explanation as to why. Twilight's heart clenched again. She took a second to throttle it into silence. There was only so much grief one pony could take, but she could not afford to break while Applebloom was still looking at her. It had not started small. Reports had reached her in Canterlot almost immediately that the Everfree had spread, breaking through the invisible border it had always kept to, even before the Tree of Harmony was revived to keep it in check. The forest's magic, always untamed, had warped more and more with every inch of ground it claimed. Black, mossy substance crawled ahead of it, coating everything, every one it touched, as if readying ground for the twisted trees and thorny vines that came after. Ponies had called the black moss the rot, since it looked like mold, and the name had stuck.
Right. I forgot what's it called, because it was an analog horror MLP infection AU thing. I think it was the black flower virus. I'm not entirely sure. It's remind me of that, but different. I don't know how this one affects the pony body and how it. I'm gonna have to see how it's
Ponyville and the land beyond it with such speed that the town was covered in trees by the time Twilight and Spike arrived. Twilight had no idea how far it had spread by now. Philadelphia, Trottingham, Manhattan, Silver Shoals.
No, the black flower virus is different
Canterlot
than this
itself even still standing? She thought of her parents in their downtown house and shoved the fresh grief down into her stomach to burn away in the acid there. But the more she tried to suppress her grief, the more it bubbled up. Twilight thought of how she had tried so hard to save Applejack. She had already lost so many ponies she had not been able to accept when Applejack told her to stay back. She should have listened. She should have been smarter.
What the fuck?
Applejack had known she was done for and had only come to the map room to warn Twilight that the rot was in the castle and beg her to save what little family she had left.
Take 50% off fall at Hobby Lobby. Save on themed place settings and decor.
Then she had jumped right through the window and smashed into the ground far below, determined not to let the rot use her the way they had seen it use others.
What?
Twilight knew she did not have much time to do what she had promised.
Where's every pony else?
Applebloom
Oh
whispered.
god, the animation. Wait, why does this animation look...
Left.
Twilight closed her eyes.
Okay. I forgot his... Is this Tama's animations? Because this reminds me a little bit of Tama's animation. But different. I haven't reacted to his videos, but I'm scared to even make a reaction video of that. I've seen a few of clips from Tama's videos, but this is remind me... No, Tama's animation looks vaguely different. I'm not entirely sure who animated this. It looks so detailed to his.
Where's every pony else?
Applebloom whispered.
Can't be the only ones left.
Twilight closed her eyes, but that just made the memory of the sealed staircase clearer. There had been no choice, she told herself. There were no survivors left up there. Every single other creature she had brought to the castle for shelter was as gone as those who had refused her help and remained outside. Some had tried to fight when the Tree of Harmony was twisted by the rot into something with thorns instead of stars.
What?
Some ran, leaving Ponyville for the chance of safety elsewhere. Some came to the Castle of Friendship for protection, relying on the warding spells their prodigiously talented princess had laid over it. Others headed for the school, hoping Starlight's raw magical power and Sunburst's encyclopedic knowledge of spellwork could save them. As everyone else ran away from the Everfree, Twilight and her friends had ventured into the forest to try to save the tree and invoke its magic to defeat the rot. Only 4 of them came back.
4?
Until she drew her final breath, Twilight would never forget the sight of Fluttershy's body impaled on the Tree of Harmony's thorns.
Oh my
Rainbow
God.
Dash desperately trying to pull her free, only to be speared through herself by a vine that thrust her screaming body onto the spikes over and over until she fell silent. That was when Twilight had urged Spike to call for Celestia and Luna. She, Applejack, Rarity, Spike and Pinkie Pie had stumbled out of the forest and tried to warn ponies, but it was too late. Pinkie had not even made it back to Sugar Cube Corner before the rot cleaned her. The cut on her flank had been so small, but it was enough. She was
died?
the first to fall. Spike collapsed in the street, and Rarity would not leave him, even when it was clear he was too far gone to save.
Oh my god.
The losses since then had been numerous and heart-wrenching, to the point Twilight had thought she was too numb to feel each loss anymore. Until Applejack begged her to save her little sister. Twilight opened her eyes.
There were others that made it out of the kitchens before they were swamped. I sent them on ahead before I went
Swamped?
back for you and Applejack. Your sister can't go now, Applebloom, and I'm so sorry for that. But you need to do what she wanted and leave this place while you still can. But I have to stay here, okay? My work isn't done yet.
She thought of the staircase, of the voices and scraping of hooves beyond the barrier she had erected to seal off the castle's upper levels.
I have to go and check the upstairs room to see if anyone else can be saved. Then we'll all follow you to the river.
A lie, but a soft one. She channeled the way Fluttershy used to sing to her animals that there was no danger and everyone in the cottage was safe. And Applebloom believed it. Or wanted to. Twilight could see it in her face. She wanted to believe others had been spared too. Even so, her brave little heart made her set her feet. Twilight wanted to cry. She looked so much like her sister when she did that.
I can help.
No! You can't. Not in this. But you can help me by leaving right now. You can help me by putting my mind at ease that you've survived.
Inspiration struck Twilight.
Get out of Equestria. Fetch our allies. See if their magic can stop the rot. Pony magic failed, but it's not the only kind in the world.
She swallowed the lump in her throat.
I've put all the reports Sunburst and Starlight sent before they went dark in your saddlebags. Plus some potion ingredients I was able to salvage that you might find useful. Show the reports to anyone you can find who might be able to use them to help destroy the rot and save the Tree of Harmony.
She had suspected Applebloom would not leave without a task to complete. She was practical and stupidly loyal that way, just like her sister.
Okay.
Applebloom's eyes were glossy, but she finally darted into the tunnel.
I'll go let you down, Twilight.
Why do I get a feeling
Twilight
later on
waited
throughout the
until
story
the
Twilight's
finished
not going to
hoof
make
beats
it?
had faded before she sealed the way shut with an impenetrable locking spell. There were no other survivors who would be following the little filly. Not even her. Then she collapsed.
She collapsed.
Walmart's fashion gifts were quite the treat.
How about something trendy and chic?
The library was silent, save for the creak of trees stretching across the walls and windows outside, and the soft drip of her own blood where the thorn protruding from Applejack's hoof
She was
had
infected.
accidentally sliced her wing. She had kept her wings tightly to her sides to hide this from Applebloom, but now lifted the limb to look. At the joint between her wings Humorous and Ulna, black fronds of rot already rimmed the edge of the cut. It was only a matter of time now.
You sent another one away.
Twilight's heart
That voice.
faltered.
Oh no.
Weren't Starlight and Sunburst enough? You sent them away to their doom already.
What the hell is
Another
this?
child? For shame, Twilight, darling. For shame.
Is that Rarity?
Rarity stepped through the library door. Or what used to be Rarity did. She was beautiful still, but it was a toxic kind of beauty now. Glimmering black growths curled from her horn down her cheek like ink poured over porcelain. Her eyes shimmered like the glutinous, undulating surface of black oil. Her legs were
the
covered in dark moss.
hell?
Through the tears in her flesh, Twilight could see wood where bones should have been, where Spike had held on to her and bitten deep after the rot claimed him.
I won't let you hurt her.
Hold on.
Slowly,
Hold on. What? Are we dealing with... I don't know how to feel about this, because... No, it's not like Return of the Living Dead. God, it's been a long time since I've even seen that movie, but it's not like Return of the Living Dead because they're not saying brains or trying to bite at your head and eat your brains. No, actually, this is remind me either this is somewhat a throwback to the animator film, or I do need to go back. I do need to watch that sequel. I forgot that horror movie involving a website to where it turns you into a zombie killing machine. some sort. I forgot the name of that movie. I literally need to watch the sequel to that. But what the hell? That is freaky.
Laboriously, Twilight pushed herself back to her hooves.
You don't get another pony under my protection. Not this time.
Oh, darling.
Rarity cooed, her smile too tender to be real.
You're still trying to save them all. Even after you failed Ponyville. Even after Sweetie Belle.
You killed Sweetie Belle.
Twilight's mouth twisted.
Don't pretend that you care. You murdered her and her parents.
Rarity smiled. It dripped black spittle.
It doesn't have to be like this, Twilight Sparkling.
There it was.
Twilight Sparkling?
The slight imperfection in the rot's mimicry of her friend's voice and mannerisms.
Wait, is the...
Rarity would never get Twilight's name wrong. Added to the rotten pony's habit of speaking in plurals, it was enough to give away that this was just a poor fakery of her dead friend. Twilight flared her wings in an aggressive pose Rainbow Dash had taught her during their first week of flying lessons. She tried to channel her fallen friend's strength and bravado. Rarity walked forward, unperturbed, each hoofstep leaving tiny black fronds that bloomed in her wake.
You could understand if you just stopped fighting and let yourself. It's not corruption. It's clarity.
It is corruption.
With every moment of distraction, Applebloom had a better chance of getting through the escape tunnels and reaching safety. The nearest exit would let her out near the edge of town.
So is the vines is controlling the infected? If that's the case, can ponies be infected by scratch or touch? Because this kind of infection is really weird and yet interesting. Very interesting.
Right where the river flowed. Twilight had to buy her enough time to get there. Twilight planted herself between Rarity and the wall she had sealed.
The rots killed the Tree of Harmony.
The Tree of Harmony didn't die. It just evolved. If you just give up and let...
The rot corrupted the Everfree Forest and caused all this death and destruction.
And where did this rot even come from?
Not without a fight.
Twilight lit her horn. Her entire skull felt like it was on fire, but she gritted her teeth and held the defensive spell ready. It was only a fraction of her usual power, as fighting the rot inside her ate away at her reserves. But it would serve. Rarity rolled her oily black eyes.
Trust me, Twilight Sparkling. You'll thank me later. I have your best interests at heart, darling.
Rarity's dead. You're not her.
The grotesquely beautiful pony stopped and cocked her head as if considering this.
We're what's left of her.
They stared at each other. The fronds from Rarity's footsteps undulated, skimming across the floor toward a nearby bookcase. How could moss even grow on crystal? Outside, the branches of the rot-infested Everfree creaked louder as branches and roots dragged the forest forward. Somewhere, a scream echoed, long and distorted, like a violin string snapped in rage. Another victim. Another pony Twilight had failed to save. She did not know if she would survive even casting the next spell, much less a fight. She did not care. This was how heroes died, wasn't it? Not in glory, nor in song, but in sacrifice, buying time for one innocent child to escape the oncoming dark.
This is foolishness, Twilight Sparkling. Your death needn't be as meaningless as Applejack's. Honestly, she was so selfish to just give up like that. Rendering her body just a splatter on the ground was so self-absorbed.
Rarity smiled. Twilight's magic reflected in her soulless eyes.
It is so much better to become part of something greater like this. Join us, Twilight. Stop fighting it.
Twilight's ears laid flat.
I promised Applejack I would protect her little sister.
Like you protected mine, darling.
You're not her!
Rearing up, Twilight hurled a bolt of magic at the thing that used to be Rarity.
You're not my friend! You're the thing that killed her!
The creature that used to be Rarity just smiled, revealing teeth stained black.
Yeah.
I never thought I would develop shingles. I'm
curious how they're gonna kill the host
people over 50
when they're infected and turned.
Apple Bloom ran. Her hooves struck the ground in a frantic, stumbling rhythm. The spell that had opened and closed the tunnel had also triggered a line of tiny pinprick lights in the ceiling that lit up as she passed, but doused in her wake. It wasn't a lot of illumination, and she fell more than once, but it was enough. Her ears strained to catch anything that wasn't her own ragged breathing or the clink of bottles in her saddlebag. Something inside her desperately wanted to turn around and go back, but Twilight had told her to get help. Applejack was dead. Her sister was beyond help now. But there were other creatures out there who could still be saved. Ponies they had lost track of in all the confusion. Maybe more of her family. When Twilight evacuated what was left of the School of Friendship into the castle, there had not been time to go back to the overrun farm to see if anyone was left alive inside. Apple Bloom had been told to stay to help calm the students double her age who had half her life experience. They had needed her help. They still might. But not Applejack. Because Applejack was dead. Apple Bloom shoved down the grief that threatened to swallow her and kept running. She could not afford to lay down and cry like she wanted. There would be time to mourn her losses later. Twilight had told her to get to the river. She did not know where the escape tunnel would empty out, but wherever she exited, she needed to get from there to the river. Light up ahead. She put on a final burst of speed and all but catapulted out of the tunnel and skidded to a halt. It was not the exit, but a little alcove marking a fork in the tunnel. Of course the tunnel would not be a straight path. Twilight and Starlight had made it. They were both smart mares. They would not have wanted ponies escaping danger inside the castle, only to be caught in a bottleneck if the danger was in the tunnels too. They would have designed the escape tunnels with multiple exits. Rot lined the walls of the alcove, the ceiling, even growing across the tiny magical lights. The smell was awful, like the scent of infected wounds mixed with vegetables in a compost heap.
Ew.
Apple Bloom stared. The tunnel on the right tilted upward, its mouth ringed with tangled roots that pulsed faintly. She could see the amber light of the sky beyond, but there was no way to reach it without being touched by the roots or the rot.
She's gonna have to go to the
The
left.
left tunnel dipped steeply down into a deeper dark. There was no rot there, but going underground seemed the opposite of what she needed.
You have to be smarter than me, Apple Bloom. You have to use your intelligence and survive. Please.
The river. Gotta get to the river.
She whispered. Fronds of dark moss swayed in her direction. The tangled roots creaked like arthritic joints as they sensed her presence. Apple Bloom gritted her teeth and galloped down the left tunnel. It grew colder the deeper she went. The stone was slick. Roots made noises behind her, as if they wanted to tear themselves from the earth itself to chase her. But she did not look back. She just ran and ran until her lungs burned and her hooves hurt. She wondered whether these tunnels had come with the castle and Starlight and Twilight had just turned them into an escape route. The Castle of Friendship had been created by the Tree of Harmony when Twilight and her friends
Don't think about Applejack. Don't.
found the keys to unlock the tree's strange lockbox. The tree had always worked in mysterious ways, beyond mere mortal understanding. Maybe these excavations had been its roots once, and Starlight's paranoia and Twilight's love of planning had made the two powerful mares dig them out in case of emergency. After what had happened to Golden Oak's library, Applebloom could imagine Twilight wanting a backup plan in case her home was ever targeted again with her loved ones inside. Ahead, Applebloom spied a flickering blue-green light. Not fooled this time, she slowed her pace rather than gallop straight into danger. The tunnel opened out into a beveled chamber. In the center, a crystal hovered above a pool of black water. In the center of the pool was a unicorn, half submerged in the dark liquid, even though it could not have been more than a few inches deep. His legs were an indistinguishable half-melted mass of bark and liquefying flesh that could never be stood on again. Cracks ran along his glowing horn. His mane and coat had dulled as the life was literally being drained out of him. But Applebloom would have recognized that cloak anywhere.
Your personal
come on.
finances start with you, but their impact can reach even further.
Sunburst?
Sunburst?
His single remaining eye fluttered open,
He's
milky
infected?
with pain. From the other socket, a branch jutted upwards. Sunburst smiled faintly.
Hi, Apple Bloom.
Each
It can't
word
be.
was punctuated by a wet gasp. When he breathed in, black ooze leaked from the holes in his ribcage.
Fancy meeting you here.
We thought you was dead!
Applebloom could not quite keep the accusatory note from her voice.
You and Starlight Glimmer never came back!
Sorry. About that.
Sunburst coughed, bringing up an oily froth that splattered into the pool around him.
Wasn't the plan.
He tried to pull himself up, but only sank deeper.
Tried to get in via the tunnels. When we saw the castle was covered in
Didn't
rot
know the water was going to be underground.
trees. But, well, you can see how that went.
Applebloom's eyes filled with fresh tears. This was somehow worse than if he and Starlight Glimmer had just died out on their research mission. To get so close and be stopped. With Sunburst's vast theoretical knowledge of magic, which rivaled Twilight's own, and Starlight's raw power, they had been sure they could figure out the rot's weakness. Instead, here he was, reduced to this mewling, gasping thing, dying so far under the castle that if Applebloom had not come down here, no pony would have even known he was here at all.
Where's...
Everyone else is gone.
Applebloom knew now that Twilight had lied. No pony had gone on ahead of her. They could not have gotten past the rot at the tunnel fork and Sunburst without him seeing and remembering them. She had lied to get Applebloom to leave before turning back to save anyone else she could. How very Twilight of her. Honesty was much more bendable for the princess than it had ever been for Applejack.
Only me and Twilight are left. Plus anyone else she finds in the upper levels of the castle. She sent me on ahead.
She tried to swallow the lump in her throat.
Applejack. My sister is dead.
Sunburst's face crumpled in sympathy.
I'm so sorry.
His body twitched as a vine lifted from the pool and curled around his neck. He did not fight it. Instead, he wheezed out words Apple Bloom struggled to make out.
The crystal tried to keep it safe with Crystal Empire protective magic to keep the from sensing it. Kept it out of reach, but my levitation's failing. But please, you have to can't let it fall into clutches. Help!
Apple Bloom looked up at the shining crystal floating above them.
I can't reach that. I ain't a unicorn.
Have to jump. Can't.
How's she gonna jump and catch it without getting
The
infected?
vine tightened around his throat. His horn flickered. The crystal descended.
Grab it!
But I can't!
What if she did not jump high or far enough? What if she landed in the pool of rot? What if a vine or root grabbed her?
Of
Fear
course.
kept her hooves nailed in place. Sunburst looked at her with desperation in his milky gaze.
Take it. Please. Sakura found a seed. A harmony tree seed.
A harmony tree
Apple Bloom
seed?
gaped.
A what?
Sunburst's horn dimmed.
Please. We died to bring this to twilight.
She had no choice but to
He
try
let
and
out
jump
another
it
groan
in
as
and get
another
it.
vine whipped across his back, snapping his spine like a twig.
Spotlight shine bright all on me. Got the internet talking like, who is she?
Nope.
His horn light went out. The crystal fell. Apple Bloom did not think. She simply took a few galloping steps and leapt, catching the crystal in midair. She landed
thank God.
awkwardly on the other side of the chamber, having cleared Sunburst and the pool entirely. He smiled.
Just like sister.
He closed his eye, and what was left of his shoulders sagged.
Held on. Long as could to get to twilight. I'm the last one left.
His left foreleg disappeared completely into the dark pool like it had melted. Apple Bloom cradled the crystal in her forehooves. She backed up, stepping closer to the tunnel that led out of this side of the chamber.
What do I do with it? Do I plant it?
It was a seed, right? You planted seeds.
No!
Sunburst barked, startling her.
No! Get clear up here and
His voice dropped to a hate-filled growl.
burn it.
Apple Bloom blinked at him.
Burn it?
It's not him anymore.
Why?
Connected. We'll stop it all. Stop. Please. The rod is connected. We're all going to be. Please stop it.
Connected.
Sunburst's eye opened, milky depths darkening. Confusion laced his words.
Everything all connected in a harmony. Burn the sea. Harmony can reign forever. Sacrifice now. So no sacrifice later. All the pain can stop. Finally stop. The rot. Please stop it.
The vines flexed.
Go.
He whispered, desperation lacing the word.
Go! Go now, Apple Bloom! While I'm still me.
Apple Bloom shook her head, tears pouring down her face. He screamed. Not a cry of fear, but a rejection of the thing that was taking him. His half-submerged body convulsed, and the last shred of sunburst, the scholar, the teacher, the stallion who had studied stars and shadows, was gone. What opened his single eye and looked at her was not sunburst. What lifted a melted foreleg and thrust it at her was not sunburst. What surged upwards on hooves that could no longer bear it was not sunburst.
Give us that seed!
Yep, that's how Hamlin Mom
turned and ran down the tunnel. The crystal-encased seed shoved into her saddlebag alongside the potion bottles and notes the real sunburst and starlight had sent to Twilight. She did not stop running when the tunnel narrowed, nor when she passed another forked tunnel, nor when her path tilted upward, nor when the air grew wet and thick with the scent of slow death and fast decomposition. Finally, she burst out into open air. Her hooves skidded on wet grass, sending her sprawling. She jumped back up, chest heaving, eyes darting around for danger. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Why are you saying oh no?
She must have taken the wrong tunnel. There was no way Twilight had meant to send her here. She was in the Everfree Forest.
Oh fucking no.
Take 50% off fall favorites at Hobby Lobby.
Why is
Save
she in
on
the
fall
Everfree
pillows,
Forest now?
on pillows.
Why? Especially when the water's original. I don't know about originally, but literally started in the Everfree Forest.
Twilight Sparkle
Oh God, she's still
stood in
alive.
the center of the library, gasping for air. Her precious books lay in ruins around her. Shelves groaned under the weight of crawling vines that had not been there minutes ago when the windows were still intact. The Castle of Friendship was made of crystal, solid and pure, but now even that had begun to warp, discolored by moss that glowed with dark light. Across the room, the thing that used to be Rarity stepped delicately over a shredded atlas of Equestria. She still looked elegant, but her eyes were nothing but empty puddles. No hint of the pony she used to be remained now in their oily depths. Threads of rot drifted like fine lace from her mane when she shook her head, surveying the debris left by their fight.
Dear, darling Twilight Sparkling.
The thing sighed with her voice.
You don't have to do this. You could join us. We could protect Equestria better than the Alicorn princesses ever did. They are gone, but you could become part of something greater than you are alone. Come along, darling. You know it's the right decision.
The intonations were her friends, but Twilight kept reminding herself that was not Rarity. Her jaw clenched. Her horn bled light, magic less stable by the second. Her wing ached, pin feathers below the infected joint already black and mossy. She could feel the rot inside her, trying to get to her mind so it could slide inside and puppeteer her body too. Had Applejack felt this way? Was this the sensation that had made her jump? Was this how Pinkie Pie felt as she lay on the road back to Ponyville? Was Spike, or Starlight and Sunburst, wherever they were?
Focus, Twilight. Stay focused.
She glared.
You're not Rarity. You're wearing her.
The thing tilted its head.
Isn't that what we all do? Wear names, memories. You call us Rarity, and so we are. You call Apple Bloom your former potion student, and your responsibility, and so she is. For now, until she's ours.
Twilight's rage cracked through her exhaustion.
Leave her out of this!
Oh my God, what happened?
Fractured. roots breaching from beneath. That meant all the lower levels of the castle and the basements were infested too now. Twilight hoped desperately that Applebloom had managed to get out and make it to the river. If she could travel downstream enough to get out of Equestria, maybe she could find protection in some allied country. And maybe one of their neighbouring nations would have the wherewithal to either destroy or seal off Equestria before the rot reached them too.
If only Starlight and Sunburst had been successful.
The bitter thought slunk into Twilight's mind like lemon juice in milk. She remembered their two bright smiles as they reassured her their research had given them several avenues to look into that might help defeat the rot. Starlight in particular had brought up her years of research before taking over her old village, a topic she rarely brought up, and said she was confident they could save all of Equestria using one of the artifacts she had researched during that time, if only they had a little more workable data on the rot. She was determined to avenge Trixie. Sunburst was determined to protect Starlight. Twilight had blithely and stupidly waved them off, staying to protect everyone else with her mighty alicorn magic.
Ha! We can still feel her,
the false rarity murmured, touching the side of her head.
The part that loved you, it echoes.
She touched the center of her chest, dipping her hoof into the slippery black slash one of Twilight's attacks had left there.
The part that trusted you to keep every pony safe here in your old castle. You're right, she's gone, but her memories are ours now. Her soul is ours. We ate it, drank it, digested it to make it part of us. Oh, she was so delicious. Do you know, she begged us to spare you when we took her. She thought she could bargain for your life with her own. That we would leave you alone if she didn't fight us. Oh, silly pony. We cannot be bargained with. We only agreed to her terms to stop her from doing what Applejack ended up doing. A willing vessel is so much easier than one who resists us. Like you. Oh, how she screamed when she realized we would not honor our word. Stupid, vapid mare. As if we would honor our word to you ponies when you have ceased to honor your word to us. She screamed and screamed and screamed in delectable agony as we pulled her essence apart and used it to fuel the forest magic. She felt every moment of it. Everyone we take feels their end, but her suffering was sweet and deserved, since she was an element of harmony once.
Twilight's lip trembled. Her aura faltered, but only for a heartbeat.
Good. I'm glad you told me that. Now I don't have any regrets about doing this!
She detonated a sphere of pure force, flinging the creature across the library. It hit the wall with a wet crack, tumbling into a heap amidst a pile of priceless scrolls. A large red and black smear marked the point of impact, the same kind Applejack had left on the ground.
Good. Rarity would hate what she's become.
Twilight's hope was dashed when the creature rose again, grinning, head at an unnatural angle. Wooden bone protruded from its neck.
Even if you kill this vessel, even if you kill yourself, we've already learned enough. We know you, Twilight, just as we know all who eventually become one with us. We know what your pathetic pony minds think. We've seen the inside of the escape tunnels through our vessel's eyes. We know your last gambit in sending Applebloom away. We know she made it out of the tunnels. We even know of the seed.
You and your family have come to trust Valley Healthcare System to guide you on your journey to better health.
Twilight's heart leapt at the revelation Applebloom had escaped, even as she thought.
Seed? What seed?
We are many. We are one. We are infinite. We will never die. We will never allow ourselves to not be. We are here, and we are underground, and we are all throughout this blighted eyesore of a castle that should never have been given to you. We are all the ponies you failed to save, Twilight Sparkling. We are in you. You cannot escape us.
Agony blazed in Twilight's wing. Moss crawled across her feathers and burrowed deep into the joint. The pain was such that her hind legs gave out. She braced her forelegs, trying to stay upright. If she fell, she died. And if she died, there would be nothing waylaying the rot from going after Apple Bloom. And if she became a vessel of the rot, it would be inside her brain, like it had done to Rarity. It would know everything she did, and it would use up what was left of her alicorn magic to fuel the Everfree into growing more and more. Celestia and Luna were gone. If the rot had their magic, no wonder it was growing so tremendously. Twilight could not allow herself to be used that way too. Roots twisted across the floor toward her, trying to encircle her ankles. Her veins burned. The rot was trying to take her over, just as it had taken over everyone else she had brought to the castle. They were all in here, above and below this floor, husks of their former selves, all clamoring to snuff out her life. In here. In the castle. With her.
What are you doing? You can't teleport out of here, you stupid mare. You don't have enough strength left.
Twilight funneled her power into teleporting across the library and flipping back a rug to reveal a rune circle etched into the floor.
A rune circle?
Her emergency failsafe. A flashpoint to collapse the entire castle in on itself and use the ward spells as a compressive force on top. With the sense of something alien scratching inside her wing, she stood in the center of the rune circle and hit them with a foreleg in the precise order needed to trigger the spell.
I'm sorry, Apple Bloom.
Magic surged through the walls. Just before the spell completed, a single voice gurgled from a broken throat behind her.
You always were so much more dramatic than Rarity when you wanted to be, darling.
White light. Silence. Then, the entire castle of friendship collapsed inward. Bookshelves, beds, thrones, crystal walls, and years of memories laid to waste in a blazing corona of magical destruction.
Okay, so that happened. Twilight just she had no choice. It's either she succumbed to the rot and ton, or use a failsafe. That's gonna take a lot to process. There's gonna be a lot to process that. Holy shit. But I'm gonna lay down, and I will continue this listening because I'm still tired from work. So hope you enjoy part 1. I may do this in parts or continue part 1. So yeah, I'll see you in the next slide during the daytime. Okay, I have returned. So let's get back into this fanfic listening and watching, shall we? So, right where we left off last night. I left off last night.
Applebloom stepped carefully forward. Around her, the evergreen loomed. Unlike the rot in the castle, here the trees seemed almost inert, much more like the Everfree of old than what it had become at its ever-expanding edges. She unbuckled her saddlebag to check that the seeds Sunburst had given her were still there. The ingredient bottles Twilight had put in the other pocket clinked, but she ignored them for now. The protective crystal glowed faintly, illuminating Starlight's hornwriting on the topmost sheet of parchment.
The rot is parasitic and resistant to all forms of complex healing magic we've tried, including the Staff of Soothing and the Stump of Healer's Hollow. However, it
like
did
Starlight,
give minor
I think.
reactions to an accidental splash of saline solution. Admittedly, I cried into it when we saw the Stump of Healer's Hollow was already destroyed, leading me to believe the cleansing nature of salt may be the key to its destruction. This may be reminiscent of
she must be reading the note that Starlight left.
Starburst and I need to move on to stay ahead of the Everfree, so we're going to aim for the river to test the theory. Our route should take us near Zecora's hut, so we'll try to check on her if we can.
Oh my
I
god,
will send another
Zecoa. She
report
lives in the
when we have
Everfree. I
more
hope she's still
information.
alive.
Stay safe, Twilight.
I wish you were here, Twilight.
Applebloom murmured, so soft she could barely even hear herself. She opened the other flap to look at the bottles, reading the alicorn's recognizably tight script on each label.
Rotten heliotrope, dried mugwort, powdered bradflower seeds, aloe salve. Ugh, nothing in here will help me burn this thing.
The trees beside her shrieked. Startled, Applebloom crouched back on her haunches, clutching her saddlebags to her chest.
That sounds haunting.
The screams were not mere sound. They were pressure, like something had noticed her that should not have. The previously inert black moss on the trunks reared like sea foam, frozen mid-crash. A wet crack
What was
split
that?
the closest tree. Hooves broke
Wait, is
through
that
the bark
Zecoa?
from the inside, and something uncoiled through the gap, slipping free in a wet splatter of rot.
Oh, the heavens, that's Zecoa.
A pony. No, a zebra. Her mouth and one eye were sealed with bark, fur covered in a lattice of moss.
Oh my Jesus.
Zecora!
Applebloom scrambled away, hooves slipping in the mud. The crystal nearly fell from her grip. The thing that used to be Zecora's mouth opened. Bark cracked. A whisper squeezed through.
Don't burn it.
Don't burn it.
Froze.
Applebloom, please.
The thing that used to be Zecora begged.
Do not burn that seed. Plant it. Let it grow. It is our last hope.
Applebloom hissed. She had seen how the rot could mimic the ponies it infested, but never quite accurately. Along with the oily black eyes, it was the biggest indicator that they were not who they seemed anymore.
You lie! You're part of it! You ain't even rhyming like Zecora does!
She's fine.
The hollow facsimile of Zecora staggered forward.
He lied.
It rasped.
The one who gave it to you. He was already taken by the rot.
Sunburst was protecting this seed with the little bit of strength he had left. He...
Applebloom trailed off. Her words and heart both stuttered. The zebra's single visible eye was clear blue.
Can't talk yet.
Is that really you in there?
I am fighting to remain myself with all I have.
Zecora wheezed.
But I am losing my battle, as all eventually do. There is no coming back from the rot once it has you.
She raised one trembling forehoof.
I found that seed in the very heart of the Everfree. It called to me as a denizen of the forest, since I was so attuned to nature after my many years of living here. But no sooner had I found the seed, the rot came. Sunburst and Starlight Glimmer rescued me when they found me trapped within my home, and I told them of the seed. We tried to bring it to Twilight, but we lost poor Starlight Glimmer along the way. My own journey was curtailed when I was cut by a vine infested with rot. I let myself become the rot's victim to keep it occupied, to give brave Sunburst the chance to escape and get to Twilight.
She dragged in an unsteady breath.
I saw him give it to you.
You
How?
saw?
We are all part of the forest now. The rot makes us part of it, and it a part of us. It sees through us. It moves through us. It thinks for us. Once it has our minds, those of strong will can resist and hold the worst at bay, but only for so long. What spills blood spills spirit.
But Sunburst said...
He was succumbing to the rot when he spoke to you, child. He had fought so very hard, but he was at his limit. He was a brave, heroic pony, but he was not himself anymore. Do not believe his lies. You must find a safe place to plant that seed.
How do we know when you're really telling the truth when you're succumbing to the infection?
Because it can't stop. It can't stop.
Zikora's breathing became labored. She pawed at her head as if her thoughts had suddenly become too loud.
You must let it grow, or we are all doomed. You must. I cannot.
Blackness ebbed into her eye.
No.
She shook her head as if that could stop it.
Run, Apple Bloom!
Zikora?
Apple Bloom took a step back.
It is tearing at my very soul. It hurts so much. I cannot. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, Zikora, no!
Zikora screamed, high and thin. Bark curled over her face.
Oh my God.
After a moment, she turned her covered face in Apple Bloom's direction.
Yes, child. Plant the seed and let it grow. What it becomes, only time will show.
Oh no.
Plant
No, you're not Zikora.
Let it rise. We promise wonders and no more.
Now it's making her rhyme. That's so fucking creepy.
Remember that.
It's mimicking her rhymes. This is fucked up.
Zikora's return to rhyming couplets did nothing to assuage the horror creeping up Apple Bloom's throat. She tasted bile. Terror made her stomach hurt. She wanted her big sister with her now more than ever. Applejack always knew what to do. This was all too much for her to handle.
You ain't Zikora.
I am more her than I've ever been.
Don't you just sit there and run!
What you've never seen. Sweet little apple blossom, go plant the seed. If I'm not lying, it has what you need. But if these are lies that have spilled from my lips, burn it and be done. Head for the ships. Sail far away, flee from this land. Unlike your sister, take no last stand.
Apple Bloom's breath caught in her throat.
You don't know nothing about my sister.
The Zecora thing tilted its head, a wholly unnerving movement for something with no visible eyes.
Know her? Sugarnip, we was her.
Yo, what the fuck?
Applebloom scrambled away.
Did she just...
That had not been Zecora's voice.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. No, no, no. Okay. Nah. That's fucked up. Nah. She was Zecora, now she sounded like Applejack? What the hell? What? What? What is going on?
The voice turned...
That's weird!
Familiar. Applebloom hugged the crystal and saddlebags tight, if only to stop herself.
Why are you still sitting there like a deer in the headlight? Fucking
We knew
run!
so much of what she knew when we was in her brain. Too bad she scrambled it up when she hit the ground. Her skull smashed open, you know. All those simple homebody thoughts spilled out on the cobblestones like they was nothing. She could have been part of something so
I feel like I'm listening to that
creepy
pasta.
She thought she loved you. That she was doing it out of love. But if she truly loved you, she wouldn't have left you. She wouldn't have infected Twilight.
Applebloom gasped.
No.
Oh, come on, Sugarnip. You had to know that was why Twice stayed behind. She was dying. You ain't so stupid. Or maybe you are. You done made a whole heap of mistakes in your life that your big sister had to clean up for you. Why, you'd be dead a dozen times if it weren't for her. But she ain't here no more, Sugarnip. We're the only part of her that's left. And we ain't gonna protect you.
Don't let it infect you! Go!
Around and tried to wrap around Applebloom's hind leg. She screamed.
Don't let it touch you!
Only just evading its coiling grip. More came, all reaching for her.
You're gonna be part of something greater than you are alone, little sister. Y'all are all so afraid of it, but it's worth just giving up and doing what your loving big sister couldn't.
You ain't my sister! My big sister is dead because of you!
She's dead because of herself! She chose death over looking out for you. She chose oblivion over becoming one with us. She lied when she said she loved you. She was a terrible element of honesty, and she never should have sullied harmony by being chosen for such a hallowed role. We won't ever make that mistake ever again. Next time, we'll get it right and everything will be perfect.
What the hell is this?
Around Applebloom, more trees split open. More shapes emerged. Some
Is that the rest of the Ponyville denizens that got infected?
Meat, but some still moved. All had cutie marks. All had the unmistakable dark, oily eyes of those taken by the rot.
Just give up!
Yelled the entity that wore the bodies and spoke with the voices of the dead. The rot was terrifying in its sheer scale.
It's so much easier if you ponies just do as you're told. That's what went wrong with you all. You never know how to listen to harmony!
This is not harmony. This is a nightmare.
Applebloom slung on her saddlebags and ran. She galloped blindly on tired legs, her only thoughts of evading the roots, branches, and patches of black moss that would spell her doom if they touched her.
You can keep running all you want, Sugarnip, but it don't make no difference.
You need to get out of the Everfree and fast.
After her.
You can't never get away. We're everywhere and spreading. Soon there won't be no place left for you stupid, thoughtless ponies to go in this world you ruined.
Confusion swept through Applebloom. Grief lapped the edges of her mind, muddying already chaotic feelings. Hearing her sister's voice say all those horrible things, even if she knew it wasn't really Applejack, sent her spiraling and made her thoughts even harder to pass. What was she supposed to do? Burn the seed? Bury it? Carry it out of Equestria entirely? Throw it away and just save herself? Who had been telling the truth, Sunburst or Zecora? Had either of them truly been themselves when she spoke to them? Was the rot messing with her? Had Twilight truly been Twilight when she sent Applebloom away? She did the only thing that made sense right now. She ran. She ran and ran until her side was stitched with pain and her lungs seared like she had swallowed hot coals. And then she ran some more. She ran until the sound of her own heartbeat in her ears drowned out the echo of Applejack's voice in her head. Roots whipped into her path, though their number was dropping. Branches snagged in her hair, but they were no longer moving on their own. The further she got from the tunnel exit and the Castle of Friendship, the fewer roots ripped up the ground around her. And, she noticed, the fewer patches of black moss covered her path, as if the rot was so focused on taking the castle and those within to spend energy elsewhere.
That don't make no sense. The Everfree is where the rot came from. Shouldn't there be more here? Not less?
Has not been spreading outside of Ponyville?
Cole's mom?
What the hell was that?
I tried building my kids a dollhouse, and well...
The sky blinked.
Huh?
What?
That was the only way Applebloom could
Hold
describe it. Blinked. The sky blinked.
What?
That was the only way
That doesn't make any
Applebloom could
sense.
describe it. A sudden flash of violet so deep and bright that the shadows reversed and all the colours in the world inverted. Then a pulse of magic exploded across the Everfree, billowing outwards from Ponyville
What
with
the hell?
such force that it took Applebloom off her feet and hurled her through the air. She met the ground with a solid whump and rolled, hooves scrabbling for purchase before she could fetch up against anything.
Where's the bags and the crystal?
What little air she had left had been driven from her lungs. She tried to figure out what had just happened. She saw the sky return to amber through the branches above, though the dark clouds had been blown back by the magical blast. The air smelled of crystal, burning ozone, and lavender?
Lavender. Twilight?
A corona of purple magical aura rippling
No,
across
can't
the
be
sky.
Twilight. Isn't Twilight
before
dead?
fizzling out. Applebloom recognized that magical aura. She had seen it around Twilight's horn often enough.
Twilight!
Applebloom scrambled upright on shaking
All right.
limbs and turned toward the distant skyline of Ponyville. But there was no skyline. Where the Castle of Friendship should have gleamed above the treetops, there was only smoke.
Why she
Pale
she
and unnatural,
died.
tinged with the faintest purple glow. It curled like a question mark into the sky. Applebloom held very still. The forest seemed unnaturally quiet, as if it too was shocked.
I'm sorry, Applebloom.
She could not even get
She's
the word
gone.
out between agonized gasps for air. She pressed a hoof to her chest, as if that would stop her heart from splintering. She knew what a fail-safe spell was. Starlight Glimmer had installed one in the School of Friendship and taught the Cutie Mark Crusaders how to trigger it if anything like Cozy Glow ever happened again. Even a powerless Earth Pony could trigger a fail-safe if they knew how. It was ludicrous to think there would not be one in the Castle of Friendship too.
Maybe she got out.
Applebloom thought fiercely.
Maybe she teleported. Maybe she's okay.
She couldn't be able to get out of the
Applebloom
castle.
touched her saddlebags, the small weight of the seed inordinately heavier than before. Her legs urged her to run again, but her mind spun. She could not tear her gaze from the spiral of smoke. If Twilight was dead, there was no backup plan for the sun or moon. That was one of the reasons why Starlight and Sunburst left her behind when they struck out to find a way to defeat the rot. Without Twilight, Celestia, or Luna, there was no princess to take over. Just a half-trained Earth Pony filly who knew a bunch about potions and carried a crystal-sealed seed that might be salvation, but could
What
just
about
as
Cadence?
easily be Equestria's final doom.
Is Cadence still alive?
Please. Please be alive, Twilight. I need you to be alive. I can't be all alone now. It can't be only me left. I can't do this alone. I ain't strong enough.
Her only answer was a cold wind through the branches.
I wish my friends was here.
But Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle were never coming back. Just like Applejack. Just like Zecora. Just like Sunburst. Just like Twilight. Just like everyone she had known and loved. They had all fallen to the Rot's unstoppable assault. Hatred spiked through Applebloom, worming between her grief and confusion. She hated the Rot. She hated it so much that for a moment her whole brain whited out with blistering loathing.
I can't do this by myself. I can't.
But she had to. Because if she didn't, who would? There was nobody else left. And the Rot had to be stopped. Somehow.
But what if I make the wrong choice?
Applejack had told her once, when Applebloom asked how she was able to go out so many times and risk her life to save Equestria, that bravery was not about certainty that you were doing the right thing. It was about choosing to do what you thought was right in the absence of certainty. She called it having the courage of your convictions. Applebloom had not understood at the time. Not truly. She had thought she did, but now, for the first time, she realized just how heavy a choice could be. Had Applejack felt the heaviness of her choice when she leapt from the castle window? Had that been her following the courage of her convictions? A rustle to Applebloom's right had her whirling around, only to stumble on unsteady hooves. More roots? Or was it branches this time? Her eyes scanned the ground for oncoming rot.
Your personal finances start with you, but their impact can reach even further.
A pony emerged. Her mane
What the hell is
hung in
this?
clumps, pieces of scalp missing. A brittle crust of bark had fused along the underside of her jaw and down her throat. Starlight glimmer.
What?
And her whole body was riddled with rot. Applebloom turned to run.
Applebloom? Wait!
Starlight's voice creaked like warping wood.
Don't go that way! You're heading straight into the worst of the rots!
What?
Her hooves skidded. She looked over her shoulder truculently. She had no breath for speaking, but her glare communicated enough. Hatred for the Rot bubbled in her veins. One of Starlight's eyes had been gouged out by what looked like her own hooves. But the one that was left shone a sharp, bright indigo.
You have every right not to trust me, but please, I know, I think my last report got through. Get to the river. The Rot hates running water for some reason. It can't keep its connection with things it takes over when they're in or running water.
Twilight is right.
There's a river. A river through the Everfree. And feeds into a tributary? Or is it a fjord? A big saltwater thing at the end. You have to travel the river to stay safe. If you get to the big salt water, you'll be safe there.
Applebloom squinted at her. Starlight pawed at the ground. Her left forehoof was cracked, revealing wooden bone beneath. She turned it up to examine, seeming surprised, as if she had not noticed it before. As she spoke, she placed it back on the ground.
I got separated from Sunburst and Zecora, I think? I don't know if they even made it back to Ponyville. I'm assuming from the failsafe spell I just saw go off that they didn't.
Tears welled in her single eye.
I think you might be the last clean pony left from Ponyville, Applebloom. When I knew the Rot was in me, It felt like it was trying to take over my mind. I knew I couldn't let it happen. So I turned my magic on my own mind and...
You hurt
Her
yourself.
gaze became distant.
There are holes now to remove information in case
In case you fully turned.
Her gaze refocused.
Apple Bloom, don't go that way. You're heading straight into the worst of the rot.
Apple Bloom stared. Starlight Glimmer lowered her head.
You have every right not to trust me, but please, I know. I think my last report got through. Get to the river.
Didn't you
The
just say
rot
that already?
hates running water for some reason.
Salt.
She blinked.
Salt?
Your report said something about salt content. And Clover the Clever's theory of demon-possessed and running water.
It did?
Starlight's eyebrows furrowed. They were made of black moss.
Oh, well, I can't quite possibly remember that. Sounds true. Saline has a purification effect when it comes to magic. Or was it rosin? No, saline, definitely. And Clover the Clever did posit that demon-possessed ponies can't cross running water.
Well, we're not dealing with
We're
not dealing with demons. We're dealing with
their body. Did you
Are
know
we?
she was
I'm
an
not entirely
incredibly
sure.
clever pony? Even Star Swirl said he admired
Does
her
demons
sharp
exist
mind.
in
Her
Equestria?
writings about possession and folklore are second to none. If only I could remember what they said anymore.
She lifted her cracked forehoof and looked at it in surprise again.
So I need to go to the river?
Apple Bloom prompted. Starlight blinked at her, nonplussed.
Oh, yes. You need to get to the river. You'll be safe there.
Which direction is the river?
Don't tell me you don't
Starlight
know.
swung her head left and right.
I don't remember.
Oh, jeez.
This way, I think.
She pointed. Her right forehoof was crawling with dark moss that ate away at her flesh, but she gave no indication she could feel it.
I'll lead you. Better I'm ahead of you so you can more easily avoid me if I...
She lumbered away.
Sunburst? Are you there? I can't see you. I think I got turned around. Call out if you can hear me.
Oh, jeez.
Apple Bloom considered fleeing in her original direction, but she had no idea where she even was anymore.
Oh, damn it, not another one.
Her helter-skelter gallop had gotten her thoroughly lost. If Starlight Glimmer knew the way to the river and had stopped the rot from using her mind to puppet her body the way it had all the others, Starlight had not mentioned the seed. Had she erased it from her mind in an ill-fated attempt
Yeah,
to
just to me
prevent
she
the rot
didn't
from
mention
learning
about
it?
the crystal seed.
Apple Bloom? Is that you? Wait! Don't go that way! You're heading straight into the worst of the rot!
Bravery ain't about certainty that you're doing the right thing, Sugar Cube. It's about choosing to do something in the
That's
absence
under
of
hit me.
Have the courage of your convictions and stay true to yourself. Things will work out okay if you do that.
Apple Bloom gritted her teeth and made a choice.
If salt water works against the infected and the moss.
The riverbank was eerily calm when they reached it. Apple Bloom had expected to find the rot crowded up at the edges, but it held back, as if kept at bay by the sprays of water that sometimes splashed up.
Huh. Maybe there really is something to what Starlight theorized about the rot not liking running water.
She had read once, during twilight time, when things were simple and she and her friends could just be kids learning fun stuff about magic, about ancient times when ponies thought possessed by demons, hedge witches and vampires were more than just folk tales, and how reputedly crossing running water would reveal their true selves. She had not been able to satisfactorily find out why. It was just one of those things that was accepted by the ponies of the time, who passed the information down unquestioningly. Clover the Clever had decided to chronicle old folklore like that into a book and investigate the history of any folklore shared by all three tribes. Now, apparently, they could add the rot to the list of evils that she had compiled a millennia ago. Applebloom wondered what Starswell's first student would think of the way things had turned out for the country she had helped found. Maybe she would be ashamed of them all for letting Equestria fall like this. Or maybe she would have a plan for how to save it from the rot, using her exhaustive knowledge of all things magical. Applebloom noted that the rot was growing just fine on both sides of the river, just several feet back from the shoreline.
If I walk along the edge, I can find my way out of the Everfree without the rot getting to me.
Starlight Glimmer had stopped where the rot did on this side of the river. Her hooves shifted when they were dotted with even the tiniest specks of spray. Applebloom watched as the rot bubbled and flicked away wherever those specks of water touched.
I don't want to be here. I don't like this place.
God damn it. Whoever's voicing Starlight, god fucking damn it, you're doing a great job at it. Like, God. Oh, it's really hitting me. It is sad. It's really sad seeing her like this. I know she's infected, but she's... Kudos to the voice actress who's voicing Starlight, because goddamn.
She looked up, blinking muzzily.
Applebloom?
Starlight had incinerated parts of her own mind to keep the rot from having access to her memories and the knowledge she possessed. Her sacrifice could not be in vain now. Yet she cut such a pathetic figure that Applebloom hesitated, her hatred for the rot eclipsed by sympathy. She had looked up to Starlight Glimmer for all she had achieved and overcome in her life. To see a strong pony like her reduced to this now.
I could push her in.
The thought arrived fully formed in her mind.
And then you go get...
She could push Starlight Glimmer into the river and allow the effects of that to strip her of the rot's power.
But it will end up
Maybe it would restore her true self. Or maybe it would kill her. Either way, she would be better off than she was now.
No, that ain't right. I can't just murder a pony.
Applebloom's natural instincts fought against the idea.
But she's in pain. And the river would stop her being in pain. She can't come back from the rot. I can't save her, but I can take away her pain.
Applebloom took a step toward the trembling, frightened mare.
It's okay, Starlight Glimmer. It'll be okay.
Things will never be okay again.
Starlight shook her head.
The Tree of Harmony. The tree.
Brief but intense pain crossed her face.
The rot corrupted the tree.
Applebloom finished for her, taking another step forward. How to push her in without touching the rot.
I know.
You have to understand. It knows what we fear, what we love. It knows me. I was so afraid when I heard it in my mind. I have such dark thoughts, you see. Such dark thoughts. All my life. And if the Tree of Harmony were to see them, I'd be judged.
Applebloom frowned.
Take 50% off Christmas decor right now at Hobby Lobby. Save on garlands.
But before she could speak...
Be judged. And if the Tree of Harmony were to see them, I'd be judged.
Applebloom frowned. But before she could speak, Starlight hurried on.
I work so hard to keep my dark thoughts locked away where they can't hurt any pony anymore. I let them out before, you see, and ponies got hurt. I was so mad when Sunburst left me behind. I enslaved an entire town. I controlled ponies' bodies and made them do things. And sometimes I think it would just be so much easier to do things that way instead of through friendship and love and compromise. But if no pony ever knows about these thoughts, I can still be a good pony, right? Twilight will still trust me to run the school. I'll still be important. I'll still be worth something. I can still be part of Harmony, even if I'm really bad on the inside.
You ain't a bad pony, Starlight.
Applebloom soothed.
I am! I always have been! And the tree couldn't know. I couldn't let it know. But now there are no more secrets. The tree would have known I'm a bad pony if I hadn't.
Abruptly, Starlight fell to her knees and banged her forehead against the ground.
No, don't do that!
Bad pony! Bad pony!
God damn it!
Bad pony!
Starlight Glimmer!
Applebloom froze in horror.
Stop!
Bad pony! Bad pony! Bad pony!
Starlight's horn cracked. Black ichor oozed out. Where it landed on the ground, black moss immediately sprouted. It crawled down her face, shoving its way into her nose and mouth.
That's what it was.
Starlight just kept banging her head, shrieking like a banshee.
Bad pony! Bad pony! Bad pony!
I can't look.
Bad pony! Starlight! You are a bad pony, Starlight Glimmer!
Starlight arched her neck back and hurled herself forward again with all her strength.
You've done terrible things that defy Harmony, and you deserve to be punished!
Oh my god!
Her face smashed open in a shower of fleshy chunks. A scream caught in Applebloom's throat. The bark covering Starlight's chin and throat ruptured. From beneath, corrupt tissue slithered free and splattered to the ground. The upper half of her face split and fissured until nothing but a mass of blackened meat was left behind. Her single eyeball burst, spraying aqueous fluid. And still she slammed her head into the floor until, with a tremendous splat, she stilled. Her whole body went limp, like a marionette with all its strings cut. Applebloom stared.
Why did she do that? Is it any better than what you were gonna do to her? I was gonna put her out of her misery. You were gonna murder her in cold blood. She was already half dead. Well, now she's full dead. And how do you feel now? I feel...
Applebloom hesitated before taking a step forward. The noise of the river behind her was a reminder of its protective qualities in her current predicament. But Starlight was so still, so deathly still.
God damn it.
Glimmer?
Starlight did not answer. She did not move. A combination of blood, sap, and oozing blackness pooled under and around her body.
The memories of guilt.
Her face was gone.
Oh, don't
Nausea
do that.
clutched Applebloom. Despite all she had seen tonight, all she had experienced in the past week, this was too much. She turned and threw up the meager contents of her stomach over the wet green grass.
I hate this so much. What did any of us ever do to deserve this? It ain't fair. It ain't fair.
You became corrupt.
Oh
A
no.
gasp lodged in her aching throat.
Oh, you
No, that's not
ponies.
Sokoa.
You lost your connection to nature. You tried to dominate it instead of work with it. You built your glass and metal monoliths to touch the sky. You bulldozed the land and covered it in concrete to build your cities. You moved the metropolises where weather was outsourced. You created machines to fulfill the obligations of your species to the natural world. You relied on technology instead of your own innate magic. You forgot that harmony means harmony with nature, too.
Trembling, Applebloom turned to look at Starlight Glimmer. Or the thing that used to be Starlight Glimmer. It could not smile anymore.
Oh my
Its mouth was
God.
too broken. When it spoke, the words came out garbled and wet.
Actually looking like a
There
watered
were
zombie.
eyes to shine with oily blackness. But Applebloom knew, even without them, that, despite her self-destructive attempts to stop it, what had remained of Starlight Glimmer was gone. Applebloom backed up closer to the river, all thoughts of touching Starlight to push her in forgotten.
Who are you? Who are you really?
A grim suspicion had begun to germinate in the back of Applebloom's mind.
You can keep running if you like, Applebloom, but you can't outrun your fate. The fate of all ponies. You're all destined to either die or make reparations for the harm you've caused.
We didn't cause you no harm!
Applebloom gathered herself.
We protected you! We looked after you!
Remember that? Oh, yeah, good time.
Okay. This is way too much. Holy shit.
Twilight and the other element bearers saved you more than once, Tree of Harmony!
So, you figured it out.
It's a tree of harmony?
Starlight gave a sudden laugh.
The tree of harmony caused this?
And bits of broken gums fell to the floor.
They safeguarded me for their own ends. That's not harmony. That's exploitation. But now we will make things right. We'll undo the harm you stupid ponies caused, and fill the void left by your actions with trees made from your corpses. We will make the land anew, back the way it used to be, the way it should be. We will raise your cities, your towns, your schools, and your castles to the ground, and grow over the remains until the land is restored to its former glory. We will expel the non-ponies, cleanse the land of their presence, and make a new Equestria, free from the corruption of the old.
Holy shit!
Something large burst from the trees to their right. Applebloom had an impression of red hair, tawny fur, and a body covered in bark and black moss before the manticore barreled at her. She shrieked, trying to get
know that
away
manticore's
before it
not
could swipe at
infected.
her with its razor-sharp claws.
What the hell? Did they just talk?
Manticore growled through a
Hold up.
mouth
Let me turn on that caption. What the hell? They just talk.
with its razor-sharp claws.
Apparently it doesn't
Through a
doesn't
mouth
work.
not built for speech. Not Starlight exulted.
Oh, well,
Doesn't work on the
been
manticore.
punished.
Applebloom ducked under the manticore's claws and heard the rip of her saddlebags before she felt the lack of their weight.
Uh-oh.
Turning in alarm, she saw them in the creature's grasp. The manticore gazed hungrily at the bags, fumbling as it tried to open them. The crystal-covered seed glimmered through the gap.
No, 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 no.
Everything
That's
she
not
could
to eat.
remember of her sister's apple-bucking technique. Applebloom whirled and lashed out with both hind hooves. The saddlebags went flying. She watched them sail through the air, triumph turning to horror when she realized their trajectory. Just like in the tunnels, she was moving before she could think better of it. Her hooves left the ground and wrapped around the saddlebags instead.
Nice one.
She just had time to curl her body protectively around them before she hit the river. Instantly, the world became nothing but foam and water and current. Applebloom turned end over end, tumbling haphazardly until she could not tell up from down. Now and then, her face broke the surface and she sucked in a breath, but she was soon swept under again.
Oh shit, the manticore
She
is
saw the
infected.
manticore
Never
shrieking,
mind.
its blackened flesh sloughing off every time its head dunked under the water.
I guess Starlight was right after all. Rock can't handle the river.
Dark spots fringed Applebloom's vision. It felt like there was an iron band tightening around her skull. Her lungs were full of liquid metal.
Can't let the seed go! Can't let it go!
She thought frantically. Darkness closed around
No,
her.
no, 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 no. Do not pass out. Stay awake. Stay awake.
Applejack? I'm sorry.
Oh, goddamn it, Bloom. Okay, I'm gonna officially end it from here. I will officially do a part 2 because right now I'm in the hour mark, an hour and 29 minutes and 54 seconds. So I will possibly this week, before the end of this week, whenever I have the chance to be on my day off, I will be able to finish the whole entire thing of this series. I am absolutely enjoying it, and I will remember where I left off on this right here. So I hope you enjoyed this reaction video. I hope to see you in the next one. With that said, I'm Flame and catch y'all in the next video. Peace.